Okay, let's open our meeting at 7 o'clock. We'll be on the air tonight, people, and so we are on the air now. Hello?
Hi, Chuck.
Chuck, how are you?
How's everybody?
Hello,
Good, how
Chuck.
you doing?
What's happening?
Nobody's sick.
Oh, good.
Gentlemen, you probably have read the minutes in front of you. I'll give Mr. Walkovich a few seconds to scan them, or if he already has, you
Already read them.
you all set?
Yep.
Where, can I ask where these are posted?
Yeah, I didn't get a copy of the minutes.
I checked email and I checked the front page of the town website where you said the agenda would be posted.
Yeah, I didn't post them, but I sent them, I forwarded to them,
Yeah.
to all of them.
I didn't see
I
any
didn't get
either.
their minutes.
Did you get them?
I got them to my Gmail account.
I got them as an
I
attachment.
always send them directly to you.
The
I've
last,
gotten them in the past.
I have gotten it in the past and I received your notice that the agenda would be posted on the town webpage.
Yeah,
Right. I did.
But I checked even this evening at 6:20 before I,
No minutes.
yeah, I don't know.
Some kind of
I'll
glitch.
have to check with Martin and see what's
Yeah.
up with the
yeah,
server,
maybe
because
Martin.
Chuck has asked for them on his Gmail account as well, so I sent it on our town account, and I included Chuck on the Gmail.
Yeah, I got it.
I know you got them on Gmail, but
Did it go on the town?
I didn't know they hadn't
I
gone
don't
through.
check.
That's the first time.
I have to admit that I didn't see any minutes. I
Yeah.
got the agenda, but I don't remember.
Yeah, thanks for.
I got them on my Gmail.
I tried sending something to Kayleen a few days ago. Everything bounced back, and she called me on the phone and said, you guys were experiencing an email server problem?
Oh, that's news to
Thanks for
us.
letting me know. I didn't-
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
because
she
you've gotten them
told
in the
me.
past, right?
I've
They
got
get
it in the
through.
past, yeah.
Yeah, I got your email last week saying.
Yeah.
Check the front. So that's why I went, opened up the
Sorry,
machine.
Rick, I didn't know that.
No big deal.
And I didn't know we were having a problem with it.
That's what you can check with her.
Yeah, no, I will. I'll check with Martin. So,
Oh, we're early.
we'll find out what's going on with that.
Good.
6 o'clock, we're early now.
Yeah, that's, so if you all have a private, I didn't hate to do that. I mean, if you need
Well, we
a
were told we
backup,
couldn't
you
do
know?
that.
Yeah, right.
When they started the new, right? They started the new town email, they said all of our correspondence had to be,
Go through that and not in the
Yeah,
backup.
really,
Right.
yeah,
Well, I see that. I
It's
didn't know
supposed
that
to be.
either. All right then, well, I have a couple of questions for Martin then.
yeah.
Okay.
it'd be a lot easier if we could go to our,
Yeah, really. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
right.
I've had nothing but trouble with this new, you ever seen? One of my computers will work with and the other,
Yeah,
my favorite one wouldn't work with it.
yeah. Yeah, I'll get an answer to both those
So-
questions. Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyways, I had,
short
So-
minutes anyway. Short meeting.
I just have two comments on the minutes from the second, item 7. It goes from item 2 to item 7 to item 7 OSRD bylaw discussion. I don't remember saying that I would contact the town council. I don't remember saying that I'd contact Ned to review the bylaw format. And if I did, I didn't make note of it to myself, so
I do, thought, just as if you were,
Gonna check.
Going to
That's what I thought.
contact?
I thought you did say that.
okay.
yeah.
Well, I guess maybe by the end of that meeting, I didn't think that this was anything that was moving forward anyways.
Right, we didn't go any,
Yeah.
So
because I
perhaps I
had,
did say that, and then that's why I left my head. The other was that Al requested that Mr. Parker contact the town administrator to seek his input on the matter. But I know that Al was very specific about wanting a written comment from the town administrator.
well, we'll talk about that. We're gonna be talking about
Okay,
OSRD discussion here after our hearing.
okay.
Anyways, so,
So, I'm sorry, then, do we want to change the minutes on either one of those items? So I'll alter the record, I'll adjust the record?
yeah,
I think we need to have a vote on that, Mr. Chairman.
Well, I'd like to ask that I know Al was very specific about asking for a written response.
well, okay, but that's correct. So that part of the minutes is correct.
To seek his input on the matter is correct.
Yeah.
But that Al was asking for a written
response.
response. Was
Yeah.
very specific,
Something in writing, right?
right? I think the minute should reflect that.
Okay. You wanna make note of
Absolutely.
that?
Yep, do we have a vote on that? Do we need to? Voto,
Make a motion.
I'll
yeah,
Amend it.
ask for the, make a
Make
motion to have that
amendment.
change.
yeah.
Second
All in favor of that change motion? Aye.
Who's second? I apologize. Thank you, Chuck.
Chuck. Anything else?
I'll make a motion to approve as amended.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
We can, down to the OSRD, that's,
Well, our time, I don't know if we,
yeah. Well, 7A, we can talk about that. That's been canceled, Mr. Chairman.
yeah. Item 7A on our agenda has been canceled. So,
The applicant withdrew that request,
Okay.
yeah.
what we could do, we have a few minutes, about 7, 8 minutes. You want to, in regards to OSRD,
Sure, we take that up
Discussion, you
for a
wanna,
few minutes
um,
and,
mention what you found out?
absolutely.
Okay,
Sure. So I don't have anything in writing. I did meet with the town administrator, and he told me to pass on information that, as regards this ordinance, he set up a meeting with Elizabeth Campbell. She's with the Nashua River Watershed.
mhm.
In his office Thursday, March 23rd at 1 PM to discuss the ordinance. And he wanted me to convey that to the board.
When did you talk to him?
Last Thursday, maybe?
You went to him before I talked to him? Do
No, you had met with him, you had talked with him, George,
First.
prior to my meeting
Okay.
with him. He told me he had had a discussion with you,
Yeah.
and that's the extent of what
I
I
had
had for the board this
Taken upon myself to go in and talk to Mr. Andrews in regards to asking what, tell him the situation that we lost Mr. Shambo. And what did he know about it? His comment to me was that right off the bat, he said, if Marcus Shambo walked in here right now, I wouldn't know. I don't know. He gave me a lot of I don't know. He did say that this Miss Campbell, Elizabeth Campbell from the Nashua River Watershed, who's like the supervisor or person in charge. He had talked to her briefly about some of the things, and then he went on, he really wanted to create it to me that he was concerned about who's paying Mr. Shambo. And she just told him by grants or something, and I mean, more like he was concerned about that, and I said, well, geez, I don't know, that's what I've been told, it's been a grant and all that, or donations. So the other part that he had mentioned that, well, I can try to get help, from another department, I forgot what state agency, that could, if we needed help. And I said, it's a shame, this fellow has been with us since I've been on the board, working on this, put a lot of time and effort, and all of a sudden, he's gone. Do you know why? And again, he didn't know. So, and it mentioned that he thought that the whole thing needed to be reviewed, and we still needed to get the departments together, and mentioned he'd like to have meetings together. And I said, well, true, we were trying to do that, and so forth, to get this prepared for annual town meeting, and et cetera, et cetera. So I ended, with that, and he did mention that he was going to be maybe seeing Elizabeth Campbell again in regards to they're doing something about the water chestnut thing on the river. So anyways, that was my discussion with him, and after that, I concerned, and I went over the Nashua River Watershed. I went in and introduced myself. I was looking for either Mark Shambo or I wanted to talk to Elizabeth Campbell. And I had quite a lengthy talk with her, and sit down, and she was more open, transparent, and just more or less, to me, that she knew that something had happened, that Marcus Shambo was talking, you know, when, I remember at one point, we had asked him to maybe go over some things with the town engineer. And she felt that when Mark Andrews found out about it, he went to Shambo and said, "Oh, you have no right coming talking to anybody without going through me first," and something like that. So that's where I think sort of like, you know, when I never got any of this from Mark Andrews, and that we were supposed to have a meeting, and I thought I had heard about that. He wanted to meet with Andrews and Shambo. Were supposed to have a meeting back in February, and she, well, something happened that never took place. She did, I believe, told me that she had seen him again about the water chestnut thing and asked about this and getting together, and he, well, I got concerns, and he wanted to know about the funding and so forth like this. And she said, well, a lot of this has been a grant from Mass Audubon. Well, and he wanted to then contact Mass Audubon and find out where's the money coming from and so on. You know, and I never knew much about the National Watershed, but, you know, they're a private entity. I mean, they all run on donations, okay? So donations. I mean, Mass Audubon, about the same thing. It's not like a state agency or something like that. It's donations. So she said, you know, like Mr. Andrews is like, put a stop to this. We'd like to go further. And she had mentioned that there was a signing of some agreement, and I forgot what it's called. She mentioned it by letters, that was signed by Mr. Moak before Andrews for Ms. Shambo to do this project for the town, okay? And that there was a time frame with this, and that really, you know, they haven't pushed it, but they need to sign another, like, contract again to continue. Well, she did mention that Andrews had said to her something about he tried to contact and got nothing out of Mass Audubon, and he was concerned about that. Why? You know, they wouldn't talk to him or couldn't, you know, I guess probably some donors or anything like that are probably anonymous. You know, they probably don't give out a lot of this information. So, which now bothers me, and I wanted to try to talk to Mr. Andrews again. And what is the problem with where the money's coming from? This is what bothers me.
Well, I can tell
Which
you where the
brings
money, why I'm troubled.
you've mentioned it.
Well, I am troubled about where the money's coming from.
Why?
Because Sue gave me a note saying it was anonymous donation that's required that we use Mark as the consultant. Whenever you have someone that's giving you money for nothing and requiring you to do something, what's the agenda behind that person giving the donation?
Well, let me ask you
We're a
this.
municipality. We can't accept donations to change a bylaw just willy-nilly. We have to know who's funding it and why they're funding it.
Well, Mr. Moak seemed this was okay and signed it way back,
Well, I'm not Mr. Moak.
you know, at the
But
time, and
What,
nor are
Mark
you,
has no
Mr. Andrews.
say in our OSRD other than his recommendations to us. He,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, has no say.
Well,
in the
but
matter.
there is a significant change in the bylaw. of
Okay, I'm gonna have
going
to stop it. We'll bring this up because it's 7:15, believe it or not, and we're gonna start a hearing right now, so we'll continue this, like, finish it off, all right? You don't mind? We've gotta do
Yeah, we
this.
have to open this. We're also gonna need Joe to participate and to be able to vote as the
Okay.
alternate because Al's not here.
Okay.
So I just want to
Do-
make that.
We
known.
will need him? Yeah,
Well, we need 4, but we can certainly benefit by having him
okay.
this
Yeah,
way.
he
Good
can
with me.
participate if if a fifth member isn't here, or the applicant needs to know that only, he needs all four of your votes. Otherwise,
Okay.
it has to be unanimous. You need 4 votes for a special permit. So,
Well, we'll,
Let him on.
so we can have
I
Joe can
would-
participate in this as our alternate.
so do we need to make a
In light of-
motion to have, or
I
I
don't
can
believe
just
so. I
appoint
just-
him?
Just for the audience and the applicant,
You were
particularly to know
appointed
that
to
our alternate will
be
be
in this hearing.
participating in
I'm
this
asking
hearing.
you to be-
Okay.
First in the service.
Right.
participate, okay?
Field promotion.
All right, I'm going to open a public hearing. And I have a notice of a public hearing here. I'll read it, try to. In accordance with the provisions of the Mass General Laws, Chapter 48, Section 9, the Pepperell Planning Board shall hold a public hearing on Monday, March 13th, 2017, at 7:15 PM at Town Hall, 1 Main Street, Pepperell, Mass., concerning the special permit and minor site plan application of Marion.
That's me, Marion and Cynthia.
Okay, I'm sorry, and Cynthia Sisowski.
Chisowski. It's Chisowski.
Sisowski. I have a problem with me, I'm sorry.
I do.
127, I'll tell you about another name. 127 Chestnut Street, Pepperell, Mass. The application requests that the single-family home located at this address be converted to a two-family dwelling. There will be no external alterations to the structure. This application is governed by Section 9300 and 9451 of the Pepperell zoning bylaws. Any person interested in this application may attend said public hearing. Copies of the application available at the Pepperell Town Board, Planning Board office and Town Clerk office for review during regular business hours. Special services, assistance, or accommodations may be made available by contacting the Planning Board office at least 1 week prior to the scheduled hearing date. Persons unable to attend may submit comments in writing. Of course, a lot of this is maybe late, but this was posted. Pepperell Planning Board. Okay. That being said, fellow works me, his name is Wozniak. And it's took me, I don't know how long, for me to ever be able to pronounce his name and stuff, so I'll tease him, called Wozniaksky, a cross-pollinated Russian and Polak and everything else, but anyways. So, we see you have plans here. Do you want to come up or any show and tell for us or anything? Feel free
Well, I
to,
passed those out last time.
yeah,
I hope all you guys had a chance to take a look at it.
yep,
The house we live in now, on the diagram is we all live on the right-hand side of the diagram. And we have 4 garages that's attached to our house. The last garage, which would be on the far left, it's 2 floors there. So my daughter and my son-in-law, the 2 children live with us. And so I am now semi-retired and my wife is approaching retirement age. So grandma and grandpa want to be separated from the kids. I have to deal with 2 women butting heads in a house all the time.
lucky you.
Yeah, lucky me, so.
You're on the air, though.
I am the what?
You're on the air.
Oh, sorry. I apologize, I didn't grab them.
Your wife's not watching this. Oh, your daughter-in-law.
So I truly apologize. So my wife would like to make an in-law apartment just for us 2 at the far garage. All the modifications are gonna be done inside.
There's no change to the external structure.
No, I mean, we have 2 garage doors, they're gonna be ripped out and just framed in with windows and stuff right there. That's the only thing, but nothing else. Everything's all inside. There's already electrical in there, 1st and 2nd floor. It's just a matter of a electrician going in and putting additional plugs and stuff, and all the work's gonna be done on the inside. And of course, we'll have you guys inspect it as the work is being done along the way. And so Kayleen checked out the drawing, and she said one room that my wife wanted, which would be a study room. She goes, they only have so many rooms, so that wall comes down. And I said, that's fine with me.
Oh, yeah. You're doing a new septic system also?
Yeah, to do this, we had to
Yeah.
upgrade the septic
Right.
because we bought the house. Only has a 1,000-gallon tank there now. I don't know how the lawyers on both sides missed this. I mean, pay these guys money to do their jobs. So we got a 1,000-gallon, and Board of Health has approved a 2,000-gallon system, which we're gonna put in to accommodate per all the laws and regs that you guys have for the existing dwelling. And that will start in the spring, provided you guys sign off everything over here. They wanna wait till the ground thaws up to do the work.
Mr. Chairman, I did receive an email from the Board of Health, and they have given their approval for the design and the work
Oh,
that the applicants suggested.
cool. As we discussed this
Shouldn't
preliminary.
public
while ago.
comment be read into the record?
Is there any comments to be read in?
I do have Board of Health.
Okay. Okay, this is from the Board of Health in regards to this application here. The Pepper Board of Health is in receipt of the memorandum for a special permit to convert an existing home into a two-family dwelling with no exterior renovations. And the the Board of Health wishes to offer the following comments. Subsurface sewage disposal system permit was approved on 11/15/16 by the Board of Health for an approved capacity of a 4-bedroom dwelling with 1-bed in-law. The applicant will need to submit a sketch of the complete existing dwelling so we can ensure the design is within the approved design flow. Private well water quality results are approved and on file. Once the applicant has addressed the above in writing, please have them submit the paperwork to the Pepper Board of Health for review. Have any questions, please contact directly at my office. And that's from Kayleen Gendron, the health agent.
Yes,
And
that's it.
all, just that. Any questions from board members or any comments?
Well, you made mention that you were creating an accessory apartment.
Yeah, for my wife and I. Yeah.
So that flows into a Board of Appeals process?
No.
No.
Special permit of the planning board only.
Maybe my bylaw's outdated. Just a second.
Well, I thought,
Well, I thought we were talking about a two-family.
yes.
Accessory apartment, under 3400. Accessory apartments may be allowed by special permit from the Board of Appeals in accordance with the special permit process in the zoning bylaw.
This is an in-law, right?
Yeah, just my wife and I, yeah.
Yeah. This is a two-family dwelling. If you go to the table of uses, in that zone is
Okay,
special permit by the planning board.
okay,
That's page 60 of your bylaw.
okay. Well, that's why,
And
when I
that's-
looked at
and
two-family,
It's a two-family.
That's what the building inspector agreed upon, which
Okay.
is why he was
Right.
here a couple of months ago.
Right.
Seeking the advice of this board
Yep.
on the minor site plan.
Yep.
That accompanies the special permit of the planning board. for this use.
I agree with all of that, you're right, and I don't disagree with any of that. However, I heard accessory apartment, and that kicked off another light for me,
Oh,
so I want to make sure that we're doing things the right way,
You're
because
really alert
we don't
tonight.
have,
This is not an accessory apartment, it's
My
for
God.
the owner, yes. He's not gonna be renting this out to a third party,
you're making a two-family dwelling.
correct? From a
Yes,
single family
yes.
home.
Between my wife and I, there's gonna be garages,
care.
a buffer zone between,
And George and his wife might be moving in the other side. It's a two-family dwelling. Okay?
You know, I gotta stay where I am right now, Rick.
Yeah, I know, George.
Any other, well, if there's no other comments or questions or anything, does somebody feel that this can go ahead and be approved? So what we would need is a motion by.
I don't know.
I'll make a motion that we accept the two-family application by Mr. Zazowski for 127 Chestnut Street to be converted to a two-family home.
I'll second it.
Next second. All in favor, gentlemen?
Aye.
Unanimous. And everybody's in favor. Okay. Well, I guess you can go to
All
work.
set.
oh, thank you very much. I'll tell my wife, she'll be ecstatic.
Okay.
She's deadly sick, I didn't want her in there hacking and coughing.
We don't
from-
want-
Yeah, we don't want to hear either.
Try not to do that one more time around.
Yeah, no,
me get it out of
Once
here.
around is enough.
God.
So Steve told me the normal process, there's a letter that takes about a week, and then another 2 or 3 weeks for an appeal.
20-day
Is it
appeal
20?
period.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm in no rush, I got all the patience in the world, but my wife just, it doesn't do now, she gets, so,
Well, you won't be doing much tomorrow.
oh, I understand.
Yeah.
But
Wait till spring comes
Shovel
back
snow.
again.
Shovel and snow, so yeah, hopefully this is the last one of the winter.
Oh, there's another one coming.
Saturday.
Oh, Jesus, all right.
6
So
to 8.
Yeah.
I guess I thank you gentlemen very much.
Good luck.
I'll let my wife know, thank you.
All right, have a good night.
Have a great night.
Take care.
Stop by, let me know.
Enjoy your freedom.
Okay. Now, where were we on our OSRD?
A bathroom break.
You, okay,
Sure.
because you were on the floor. Chuck, I'll let you finish when you come back.
Well, we're taking a little break, as opposed to having everybody run to town hall or the library. I've got a certification form, and for that, if we can have the members sign it,
This here, right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
and I'll hold it until the appeal period's over.
Oh, for that.
Yeah, for that.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. They give you 14 days, but we won't meet
Right, right.
until the 15th.
Yep.
So I can't, bring the whole piece back.
It's gonna snow again on Saturday?
Yeah, that's just saying.
That's all right. Do you want me to sign that too?
No,
Okay,
no,
now.
Okay.
no, we won't have to. We'll have 4 signatures. But I'll add your name to that list.
Saturday?
I saw flurries, but I didn't see 60.
They're up to a
What about
60%
Wednesday?
chance of
Wednesday, we're not getting anything
snow.
on Wednesday?
On Wednesday.
Okay.
Saturday into Sunday, maybe.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell.
Back to
oh,
back
is
to
it
back
fully
storms,
there?
yeah.
It's not green, is it?
I don't think so. Test it.
No, it's good. Thanks. I just reached into my bag and grabbed a pen. You can see the color.
So you got
Can
your
you have Chuck
papers
sign
in
it?
and all that?
I do, yes.
You're
I
going to be
haven't.
on the ballot.
I have not heard otherwise about the amount of signatures, so
Well, they put it in the paper, so
Yeah.
I think
How many signatures total did you get?
40, 60?
I got 57.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah.
Most of them were either the senior center or the library,
Oh, the library, yeah, okay.
so I don't.
My wife came over and told me.
You didn't hang around the market or
The
anything?
planning board is.
I was going to be Friday night if I didn't have enough signatures,
Oh,
but I took my bet with the 57 I
There
had.
you go. Yeah.
Oh, I read it and oh, wow, I
Chuck, will
didn't,
you sign that certification?
geez, I didn't know you were going to run.
Save you having to go to
I
the
know Rick was
library.
saying you could,
Late decision.
you know.
I appreciate it.
Just grab my pen back.
Oh, sure.
Whenever, I guess, my view is whenever you're doing something that impacts the town, and the fund it's being funded anonymously, and there was never any record of who was paying for it, it raises concern with me.
Well, if he had a say in the final document, in the decision.
But he could steer.
I'd love for him to steer. Come to a meeting.
Yeah.
You know, we're speaking of Mr. Andrews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Mr. Archibald.
He can steer, well, who's doing the steering?
I don't know.
Well, we are, right? This is our ship.
And I asked a question and I never gotten an answer.
Right.
And I think it's
a good question, Chuck.
I think it's well within my rights.
Absolutely.
And I said, George, that until I know who is funding this, I can't be in favor of it.
Well,
That's my view. And
but I would have to say to you, I know some of us have been involved in this a little longer than you, and just trying to help you
yeah,
understand.
no question, no
That-
question.
I'm not sure, what I learned from talking with Elizabeth here this last week, and that a lot of this money has been put out by the Mass Audubon that they received for, so I didn't really get into how Mark and he, but she told me how it was all up front and
The only-
legit, that Mr. Moak had signed this agreement, and probably it must have done a review of it to help with the planning board. This is, again, something that is part of the state is endorsed to help towns, because they want these open space developments, and you can understand that it's good for the land.
I understand all of that, and I copied you on the note that I got from Sue, saying it was an anonymous donation and we were required to use Mark as the consultant. All I asked was, who's funding it, and why did we have to use Mark? I think it's a perfectly legitimate question.
Well,
Well, I don't disagree with you on that, Chuck, and I think those concerns are understandable. I can see that, as a guy who comes from your background, these things need to be disclosed. In some past history, just, to maybe reiterate, we've used Mark Archambault and Nashua River Watershed multiple times.
I'm not questioning Mark's integrity.
I'd like to finish.
Yeah.
So in our history of our understanding, in working with Mark, and knowing that Nashua River Watershed may be supported, in this case, is supported by the Audubon Society, it's not in our purview to ask the Audubon Society, who's donating to them, to promote these open space developments. And I think that's really a secondary discussion of what happened here in the interruption of this whole process. I mean, again, I fully respect your concern and understand your design. I don't discredit that in the least. I just, to me, there's been a disruption in the public process.
yeah,
There's been an obstruction of the public process.
yeah, I believe you're right in saying that. I mean, we've been working very diligent in a long time, and the people that put this work into, and the money that's been spent, whether, whatever, it's money, real money. And I don't see anything.
And I hope that you're not viewing my question as being an obstructionist. It was more,
No, I
for
don't.
me to get on board, I need to know who's funding this.
Well,
And I don't
that's
think
what I
that's
can tell you. The money came from that, and
but
the
that was-
Nashua River
but I've been
people and the
asking-
Mass Audubon.
But I've been asking since August, and that's not even been said. It just said it was an
Well,
anonymous
I
donation.
gotta say, that I don't know. I learned more about it myself after talking to Elizabeth Campbell. That this, and, I mean, to find out, this were Riverboy, I know where they are. Christ, I go by the building how many times. And I went on their website and studied their mission and so forth like that, and so, well, can understand why they're probably doing this, and that's how they work. All donations from God. I mean, they were just in the paper. They had some shindig going on that raised money for their group. Now the Audubon, another group that gets money, and probably you know, again, donations or grants or whatever they get, and put it to these types of uses. Why they said Marcus Handel? Probably because he's a professional that does this and has been doing it for other towns, and for how long? Do you know how long he's been, before he came to Pepperell?
I don't know his resume off the top of my head. I know he's worked with us since my time on the board, but
Do you know?
He never appeared to me to have an agenda.
Absolutely not. The
Well,
guy's
yeah,
just
again,
trying to do
please-
the
please-
job.
Please understand, I'm not questioning his integrity, I'm questioning how it's being funded. So that we can stand in front of
But
the town of
but what you're
Pepperell.
saying, Chuck, is you're worried about where it's funded because you're concerned about somebody steering or having an agenda, okay?
That's what I read.
That's
That's
how
true.
it sounds to me.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
and
show me if that's
I
your
don't see
problem,
that
try to
in
see
Mark.
what's wrong with
I
this.
haven't, in my dealings with him anyway, he didn't appear to come in here with any kind, he wasn't telling us, this is what we need to do with it. We were more
Absolutely not.
telling him, here's the document you provided for us as the state guideline, and
Yep.
we were scrutinizing that
Oh my
document
God.
and making changes where
Al
we
Pano,
thought.
look how many times he,
I'm more concerned with, why were the brakes put on this? Who stopped the process? Mr. Andrews says it wasn't him, and
No,
Ms. Campbell appeared, it wasn't, one of those
what
two had
I
to put the
think
brakes
what,
on this
my
thing.
thing, with my conversations after it seemed Mrs. Campbell, that Mr. Andrews put the brakes to Mr. Ashambo after he found out that he met with the town engineer. And,
he went with the town engineer because we asked him
correct,
to
yeah.
to do that, so that we could get it clear and get it clean, so we could
And
potentially get this document
She
ready for
said there
town
was
meeting.
supposed to be a meeting, I believe, with her and Marcus Shambo back in February.
Right.
And that never took place. And he's like, not made any reappointment with her. She told me she asked him again about getting together, and and then went on, was trying to get information from Mass Audubon and didn't get it, what he wanted to hear. So, this, again, is, you know,
Maybe we could
this-
schedule some joint
what he
meetings
does,
with the two of them,
you
sit
know,
down and say,
and why he
"Okay,
can't come to
go."
us and talk or ask. And, I mean, and just the way he was like, I don't know to me. You know, didn't want to give me a lot of information. And then unfortunately, I wish I got busy and didn't get a chance to go back to question him after I talked to Elizabeth Campbell about what she said in the meeting and what happened there. And so I haven't got, so now,
Chuck, does
since
Mark
I
have
went in
express-
and Steve has gone in and talked to him, that he wants to meet with Elizabeth Campbell, I guess
March 23rd, George.
we'll, March 23rd, wait and see what goes on now. And if he gets, but I'm concerned, and I mean, I don't know, I mean, this has bothered me, and I've not been a big person of this since I've been on the board. It's like, my God, will we ever get this done? But I got to admit, with a lot of time and effort's gone into it, and I can understand, it is a good thing to have a zoning bylaw. And you got a builder here, Al Pano, that believes in him, likes him, and being an old farmer that he was, grew up with farming and stuff, and believes in him and stuff, and likes to, and it shows, you know, just what he did with the one out on Hollis Street, the land, and the one on the river, the land that goes to conservation being protected. How can you not beat that? Really, you know, that they're good to have, and anything to make them better or upgrade, because everything needs to be fixed every now and then. So, anyways, back to that, if we don't see results, it's almost that I would want our board have a meeting with the selectmen, if they will get them to come out of the dark and so forth, in regards to this whole situation, what happened, why, and where is it gonna go from here? Because a lot of good time and money shouldn't be going to waste.
Well, it won't make town meeting.
No, it's not gonna make town meeting, but it needs to be finished and not just boom, dropped. Am I correct in saying that? I mean, do you guys
Yeah,
feel?
Yeah, I'd like to get a decision one way, either we gonna do this or we're not gonna do this. So
Correct.
we're not sitting here.
Well, it's becoming a pattern, right? I mean, you sat with a citizens group for over a year, looking at the zoning areas of,
Yeah,
over by Mill Street.
yeah.
And putting that proposal
Yeah.
in limbo, and then that
That got squashed,
got squashed.
yeah.
And now I hear from NEMCOG report that our town administrator is requesting information to have NEMCOG assist with a potential rezoning of the north side of Main Street. That's never come across us for discussion or,
No.
put in our purview, or it's never been an open line to,
No,
would we, where we've talked about that. I mean, it was 6 or 7 years ago, but we
Correct.
talked about rezoning all of Main Street, and we did only one side.
yeah,
So, I mean, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing,
right,
but there's certainly a breakdown of communication
yeah, no, right,
from,
right,
Yeah.
within this town hall, and
Yeah.
it's, I don't believe, coming from us.
no, no.
So, maybe Mr. Andrews wants to tell us what he would like us to work on with planning, but since we can't seem to get a comment from him, I don't know really what he wants.
Yeah,
But it's pretty clear that he didn't want this OSRD to be pursued, because
no,
it's done, for right now, anyways.
yeah. So, that's what I can tell you, trying to remember in words and that, and Steve's, that's where we're at.
Okay.
But I hope, and as long as I'm still on this board, I guess it bugs me now that that's something, we've got to get to the bottom or finish it, or if we're not, why? That's where I'm coming from.
That to me is, look, just tell us what you want us to do.
Yeah.
You're just telling us
Or what's your
you
problem?
don't really feel
What's
that
the
we need to
problem
do
here?
this, that the current OSRD we have is sufficient, and that there's no reason for us to be doing any. Fine, if that's, the priority should be somewhere else,
Yeah.
then tell us and direct us where you think the priorities are.
Well, according to the town charter, though, however, the town administrator doesn't direct us. So that's why this circumventing of process becomes very aggravating, because if it's within our purview to handle this and conduct this business, then I think it's an obstruction of public process. I mean, maybe we need to contact the Attorney General's office, because no one seems to mind but us.
Yeah. This is where I mentioned that if, we'll see myself, we'll wait and we'll see what happens after this meeting he's gonna have with, I wanna say Marion Stoddard, but not that she was the founder of the National River
Right.
Watershed, but Elizabeth Campbell.
Mhm.
And where we're gonna go from there, what.
We'll
what's-
wait till the 24th of March and
Yep.
see what comes out of that.
And our meeting after that, we'll be waiting to see. And if I can, I might go back and ask him, I hear you're gonna have a meeting, so, fine, what's gonna go on? But, if we don't, whether we can, selectmen wanna meet with us and have hey, sit down on all these issues to get resolved, and why and who, what's going on, or something. Or, like you say, if we don't get anything with the selectmen,
Didn't we have?
maybe
this-
we need to go to the state and ask Attorney General or Ethics or somebody, can you review, we've got a problem here going on.
Didn't we, at the last warrant, last year, we had the auxiliary apartment thing on the warrant, and that got pulled off?
It never made it to the
I've
warrant.
never made the warrant, it just got
Both
pulled
of those
off.
things
We
were
never
denied,
really-
both the OSRD in its rough form and the accessory apartment bylaw in its rough form were denied by the selectmen prior to it ever being submitted by this board for review for town warrant. And that's when I spoke with Ned and said, how can you deny something that hasn't been submitted? How can you deny something that we haven't even asked for your review? Not for his review, but the review of the selectmen. I'm still mystified by that.
We're never given a reason why it was taken off anyway.
It was never put on.
But I mean, why it was squashed. I don't recall ever getting a
I mean, we
reason.
never even thought that the OSRD was even close to being ready at that time.
Right.
And yet the selectmen in this room were discussing it as though it was something that we were gonna bring forward. So I'm confused with the process, I guess, there, you know? And with regards to our rights to put something forward for a warrant, if we read our town charter, it's very clear in it that citizens petition, Board of Selectmen,
They can't take
and
it
the
off.
planning board shall have permission to put forward warrant articles.
And I believe it says something about if you have so many on the petition, the selectmen can't take it off.
Right.
Right.
And again, the way our bylaw is, our charter is written, our new charter, it says that they shall receive them from us as well. So, but we're not gonna put forward something that we
I don't think it's ready.
ready,
Right.
right? Nor have we
No, right.
asked for something to be put forward that's ready. So there seems to be two forces at work that aren't in sync. That's just how I see it.
Good feelings, Rick. I concur with you, totally agree. So anyway, that was my meeting. Ms. Campbell seemed delighted that I came in to talk to her and take interest in this. She sat right down, come here, sit down, and let's discuss this. I knew she had a meeting she was supposed to meet, but very outgoing. I did leave with her, could you give my best to Mark? And speaking for myself and probably some of my board that, hey, we miss him, we appreciate him, and we're trying to find out what's going on here. You know, and I did tell her, he's done an excellent job, very diligent in his work, and I tell you, it's been a trying time. I told her how I felt, the meetings we had, the times and back and forth, different drafts, how Al Patton could beat him up and run him around and the whole bit. So anyways, that's,
We'll put it back on the agenda for the 27th.
yes.
Meeting of the 27th.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Anything else? Anything else? No? That's all that's on our agenda for tonight,
You
gentlemen.
want to get Joe's name on the minutes.
I always like to see that guy, get Mike to make his first motion. Come on, Joe, make a motion.
Make a motion.
Yeah, Joe, come on, get some
You and I were
practice.
going to be here till
I
7
make a
o'clock.
motion to adjourn.
Do we ever close?
I'll second that.
Okay,
Do we ever close the hearing?
meeting over.
I don't think we
Close
did.
the hearing, did we?
No, we did.